The topic is very crucial for everyone's life, that secrets to successful execution. So the word success itself is a key word into the entire thing, as well execution is also an important word into the entire topic. And a lot of research has gone into the subject of success and failure. All that we need to do is learn our lessons from history. When we study the life history of successful people, we find that they have certain qualities in common, no matter which period of history they lived in. So, there is a common denominator of success, that is habits, a bundle of habits. That's important. And once we have those habits, it helps us in execution. The researchers have really shown that these habits, these bundle of habits, take your life to a success or take your life to a failure. To start with, now I request Mr. N. Narasimha to start.
But I would like to inform you that the very word administration, I'm in income tax administration right from 1973. So that means it's more than 36 years. Administration means getting things done. That's execution. So right from the day one, we are in the business of getting things done. So we have been executing things. So I can share with you my experience of how do we get things done and how we can achieve better and better continuously. If we look at civilization, it is one movement of progress. Maybe to begin with, it is physical, then mental, emotional, spiritual. Now even the corporate sector is talking of corporate social responsibility, not profits, merely profits. They are talking of SQ, that is spiritual quotient. We have moved from IQ to EQ, now to SQ. That is, only intelligence was given importance. Later it is found that the emotions are very, very important. Emotional quotient will contribute for success. Now, the highest success will come only through spiritual quotient. So, I would like to touch upon some of these areas, that is particularly the spiritual quotient part of it. So, because many youngsters, of course there is a good mix here, but youngsters may feel, what is spirituality to do with the business management and business success and all that. In fact, we hear that it is actually opposite. So, business is opposite of spirituality and all that. So then, how do we integrate, how can we bring that kind of concept into business and how that can be highest achievement? And we will get into some of these things. First, let me talk about execution. As children, if we observe ourselves, probably of course we would not have observed because we were children at that time. We can now observe the children. What do you see in them? First thing you must have impressed is their curiosity. They are curious about everything. Everything around and everything about themselves also. So he'll play with himself and sometimes say, hey, this is dirty, don't do this, don't do that. We keep on restraining and all that. And no, he's free. That means he's open. He's open and he explores everything about himself and about his surroundings, about others, environment, everything. This is what the first thing I would like to impress upon is, we should be curious, we should be open, and we should be continuous explorers. These are the qualities we lose as we grow up. Either people say curb or restrictions, whatever. So we lose some of these great qualities. In fact, we all know that the fastest learning for a human being takes place.
Now I request Mohan Nair. Mohan has worked in his life and done a lot of work in his life and executed many plans. Mohan started his life on the streets and started sales in his life, and from there today he is heading a company, and it's a company wherein he is heading the entire operation. This journey of execution, this journey of success is mind-boggling. There are a lot many things which can be learned, which can be shared by Mohan today, and I want his experience about execution and about successful execution, what he has done in his life for all of us. Thank you, Mohan. Please take over.
So what is this X factor, the execution factor? Secrets to successful execution, I would like to just take few. See, if you look at typical business execution, what happens is you start with values and mission and long-term goals, goals and objectives, strategy, plan, implementation and follow-up. This is a typical business execution plan. But let's see what happens actually. If you look at the Harvard Business Review, they say that research shows that enterprises fail to execute. And why do they fail to execute? I'll get into it. But where does the organization attack? They attack the structural reorganization, and they neglect the effectiveness, they neglect the decision rights and information flow. If you look at the next slide, you will see, in fact, what should really happen. You should not be attacking the structure and motivators. You should be attacking the information flow and the decision rights. It looks quite complicated now, but I'll just make it simple in the next few slides. So let's get to this X factor. Oh, this is crowded slide, and for the last benchers, it is also eye test. Okay, but I would like to come to the actual definition of execution, which is very near and dear to my mind, and I'm sure you'll also find it very useful. And that is, execution is a way to link the three core processes of any businesses: the people process, the strategy process, and the operational plan process together to get things done on time.
I would like to share an interesting data input for all of us. We create our emotions by telling something every minute to ourselves. We talk about 600 to 800 words per minute to ourselves, and whereas we can speak only 200 words per minute to others. So imagine there could be n number of changes in terms of our mind to execute a particular action. So this is how mind works, and therefore, out of these many number of options, one has to execute and focus in a direction is something, a discipline in itself. Let's listen, Kumara Raja, who's also a successful person, who's done immense amount of hard work in his life and has done immense amount of work in various fields, not only in one particular field. And let me tell you one thing, he's traveled around about 40 countries and successfully executed all his projects, all his assignments in his life. Let's understand from him what is he thinking about successful execution and secrets to successful execution. Kumara, please. Thank you.
You know, the topic itself, I felt that there is something I need to read more. So that was a motivation for me. And then whatever you see here, it's not only the experience which I am going to share, I also understood that what is real execution by talking to at least 47 of my contacts. I was almost awake up to almost 1:30 or 2 o'clock in that night. My objective was to gather information what others feel from across the categories. Some were businessmen, some were from the government and all these things. You know, one thing that I think I wrote a very good email telling that I have been invited to be one of the panelists for TASMAC. I would like to give my best by giving theoretical as well as practical, because I believe in theory too. Because what is theory? Theory is a concept which has come up due to a lot of thinking, and if I really think, I think the hardest thing in the world is thinking. So the concepts are phenomenal if you can really understand. So they are not abstracts. At the same time, we need to be practical, pragmatic, because things change. So here is the summary of the experiences of not mine, many people, especially these 47 people I have summarized in different languages.